Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This video is part of a 5-part series called Cleaning the Cluttered Mind. When we're going after our dreams, sometimes it can feel all too consuming, the other little pieces that are part of our day-to-day lives. And hopefully with the different parts of this series you will gain some knowledge on how to manage the other parts so that you can start dreaming, whether that's to gain clarity on your dreams, to continue going after your dreams, or just to relieve some stress that's stopping you from taking the action that you need to take. In this video, on our next part for Cleaning the Cluttered Mind series, we are talking about tidying up. Now, I know all too well, especially with Christmas and New Year's that have just gone, that with the new gifts, the party foods, that there may be a lot more mess around the house than there used to be, or what was currently normal. We're also staying home a lot more due to the pandemic, so it's easy to gain extra things that we may or may not need, but it's about managing the space we've got and utilizing each space so that it doesn't become a stressor to ourselves. I'm very much a firm believer that in order to have a clear mind, to be thinking clearly, to be taking action and feeling good of going towards my goals and my dreams, that my environment plays a massive part in that. So step 1 is to divide your house or your room that is the problem area into little chunks, so it's not just your bedroom or the whole house. We don't want to see the mountain, we just want to see a molehill. So think of like a place that you always just chuck random stuff. Yep, I'll get to that later. Yep, oh, that's a bill, I'll put that in a drawer. Find a place to start. Now, to start with, we only want to be doing about 5-10 minutes worth of work, because again, we don't want to be looking at the mountain. We are just looking at that little molehill that can get us started. And that little piece will then give us the motivation, the energy to then go on to another piece. Not necessarily on the same day, but it gives us the strength to keep going. Because if all we're seeing is the whole house is a mess, then we won't even know where to even start. Whereas if we can just pick a place, preferably the place that does get the most stuff just pushed to one side, because that's the place where there's not really a designated spot for anything. It's just for stuff that we've not even looked at, or we've opened, glanced over it briefly, and then not done anything with it. And that's the place where we can easily pick up some quick wins that's going to make us feel better, it's going to make us feel clearer, and overall it's just going to make us feel a lot more positive. So once you've picked your spot, your drawer, your cabinet, your space that we're going to get that 5-10 minutes to start, we're then going to bring out everything in that little bit on a table, the floor, on your bed, on a chair, wherever you've got room, just to split them into different categories. So in one pile we might have bills and receipts that we either need to pay or we need to file, so that they can be dealt with in one slot. In another bit we might have newspapers or magazines. In another we might have little handouts that we've collected of places that we've been to, or mementos, or anything, other little gifts that we've come back with. From there, we're then going to deal with each pile one by one. So again, it's going to be a couple of minutes on each pile, because we're only looking at one little space right now. We're not looking at everything. And to be able to get us into a positive state of mind, you might think about blasting some tunes. Now, whether that's in your earphones or on loudspeaker or on putting on the radio, that's completely up to you. But find something that's going to boost your mood while you're doing it. So you're not just going, oh, Bill. You're listening to the music and it's connecting that activity with actually something positive. Now, once we've moved on from the small little sections, we're then going to be looking at maybe the larger areas that need to be done. So cleaning a window, you've got to clear your windowsill, you've got to clear anything that's stuck up on your window. So we need to, before we start with the bigger ones, we need to identify, do we have the cleaning materials? So we're not cleaning and tidying up a space that's been just stuff has been put to one side. We're now actually looking about bigger cleaning tasks. We need to check whether we've got all the supplies, the materials, and everything we need for that space, so that when we're going in to tackle it, and I would say setting aside 15-20 minutes, possibly even 30, depending on how big the space is. If you're looking at to clean your entire bathroom, you want to do that in one fell swoop, because you don't want to do half of it and then come back to it and do another half, because that's twice you've then got to get the motivation to get up and do that activity. Whereas if we can get it all done in one 20-30 minute slot, that's going to be a whole weight of your shoulder. Another option, if maybe music isn't quite your thing, or it's just not making as big an impact, or maybe a lot of the areas you have are bigger and there isn't that many small things, is to grab a support partner. Bring someone on board to do it with you. And if you think that there isn't anyone that wouldn't want to come over to help you out, you might want to think again, because I think you'll be surprised by how many people actually would want to come and help you. Whether that's a friend, whether that's a partner, there's people out there to support you. You may even, if you've got the financial security, pay someone to come over and help you out. Because if someone can come over for an hour and help you put things into piles and deal with each little bit, that's money well spent, if it means that a whole task has been collated and resolved, and all that stress that might have taken you days to get through has taken someone 1 hour, maybe 2, depending on the size. So considering different options is definitely a way forward if the other opportunities aren't available for you, or just aren't a good fit for you right now. Then always considering that there are people, like I said, in your support network or outside your support network, and possibly there may be a charge for that, so that depends on your financial security, to come over just to help you relieve that little bit of stress. You'll be surprised by just how helpful people can be.